Crackers, I have just now realized that you've been in silence this entire time. If anyone is watching, I'm still setting up and mostly just the actual thing. I am working off of a notebook where I have all the characters, what they are, what their sounds are, and the methods of playing down. But I am so sorry if anyone is watching. I have no idea there's no one at this time, and I forgot I had to click the start streaming button. At the looks of it, there's no one watching yet. Good. I'm gonna turn this song on if I forget to. There's the song. I am sorry, especially for whoever's watching the VOD, if any. I'm currently still setting up, and it's mostly just creating the cakewalk project, but that should be done in a moment. I'm trying to do it multitask, and it's not really working. You know what, I'm just going to go straight into it. So, the song that's being made is the synthication platform. It is a rather complex song in that it's completely made of ambient sounds, almost entirely, except for a few things. The best place to start, though, for a project like this is to get down the initial thing, which the synthication station technically acts like a base to this. I do not get synthication station and the synthication platform mixed up, as the synthication station is technically an object, but it still makes sound in of itself. I just have to remember what sound it makes. You know what, I'm just gonna work through them. So I think it's tape. Yeah, it's tape. I'm going to turn this audio up for you. Hold on. I have a better screen on this side. Okay, is that too loud or just loud enough? Okay, it's too loud. Oh. I'm gonna put it at -9 decibels for you. I usually have it at -30. I guess now that I'm starting to make projects more on the games I'm making over the games that I'm not, I guess louder is a little bit better. So I'm also gonna turn myself up. -3 might be good right now. -9. So that they're level. I forgot. It has to be a -18. Because of background sounds. Sorry if you can't hear me that much over this. Just gonna turn that down a little bit. Again, this is why I set up usually before I stream. Because it's mostly just finagling with sounds. Overall, the synthication station acts as like a bass sound for them all. Here to know the tempo, it's gonna be 80 beats per minute. That's what it was on the original one I made. At least I believe it was. And it's in 4/4 time. Actually, there's a second sound I should work with at the same time. That is technically the quad. I just have to remember which one it was. Sorry. It was is storm. Okay, these two are the most important overall. This is A, B, C, D internally. The synthication. Oh yeah, the synthications within lore cannot be wet. That is just something I'm going to make clear. They cannot be wet. I'm going to start the song on a very simple down to the stroke and just to see how long this lasts. Okay. Again, this is all about building an ambience. I guess I'm gonna add a little bit of reverb to all of them. Yeah, leave. That already makes it a lot better. Immediately. Again, the synthication station acts like a bass for the song. I usually work with instruments like a bass instrument, well, synthesizer technicality. This is one of the only percussion basses. Now that I think about it, the only series I don't really have a bass for is the dinos, but that's a different topic. And then the first two elementals technically are bass instruments. Playing the bass line. never mind. It's off topic. Actually, I want this. Just gonna split that. Okay, I technically want that to be the chorus, or at least the base of a chorus. Then for the first verse, I kind of want a more different feeling. Something that's a little different from the chorus while still keeping up the same ambient feeling. For which it would also contain the synthication station's secondary sound. Well, first sound. It's in the chorus, aside from the beat keeping, which will be shortened by a bit. I am not working off of a beatbox like I usually do. For which at least, I think the chorus I want that to repeat twice. The intro would last 8 bars, well, 8 beats in total. And then each verse after that, I think I want to have 16 each. Then I'm going to allow for some more instrumentation there. That would lead back up into the chorus. Which would be a much more dulled down of the sound. That would be a much more dulled down, non-transitional version of the sound. Or just for the sake of it, I'm going to make this follow a similar structure to that of a pop song instead of the original, but then the bridge would add a lot more energy, acting like the climax of the song. How long can this last? Because I usually make my bridges double the length of a normal verse. Actually, to follow a similar structure to that, for which I have worked into other songs, I'm gonna have this part play twice to match more of the length of the bridge. Then it'll go back into a shortened version of the chorus. Almost forgot the transitional sounds. Which that can just go there. We should make sound number 4 for this be just a transitional sound. One thing that I find relatively important when I'm composing a song is having the most transitional sounds as I can, for which all the sounds in general do call and responses to one another. And the ending I'm going to leave open for instrumentation so far, leaving the song at 1 minute and 33 seconds so far, for which I'm going to mute my microphone and play the whole way through just so it can be heard. I like it so far, so I'm going to move on to the next sound, for which, now that I have a bass line and the quad, for which are both very important sounds, as I want it to be more important as you go up, I'm now going to be working on the singles. And while it might seem like, why not just do the triples first, the singles are important in of themselves. Gives you a reason for wanting them, for which the first one plays the crotale. Crotaline is the synthesizer that it uses, which very nice. For which it plays A. Now what's a good thing for it? G minor might work. There. It adds a very fancy effect to the song, in my opinion. Which I've also made specifically so it can act as a sort of transitional sound. How to hear it with reverb, just because I'm adding it to all the instruments here. And I'm gonna have it play again in that down verse of the second verse. Again, a rather quiet sound, but overall all the sounds in here are mostly right. So having one that is relatively nice. So I'm gonna add one now that's technically a bass sound as well. Although I'm looking at it, which it is a choir low. So it's NS2 choir low from Big Cat. G minor. Aeolin is another word for minor. I am trying to figure out what to do next. Okay, that should allow for more cleaning. Sound to the G. So this would act as the baseline notes of the entirety of the thing. At least if I've done my math correct to make it sound good. Because I don't want to make something that doesn't sound good. Okay, so what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D is the tonic, which would make a good way of making the song feel like it could go on for a little longer without completely reaching resolution. For which then I can do these two again in a row, so that this is technically a pre-chorus. Again, a bridge is oftentimes a flip of the concept, which overall can make this sound a lot better. I had to extend the chorus over here due to unforeseen problems. For which, just for the sake of it, I'm going to take it back to this part to act as an outro to the song. Meaning now with B, that should be complete. The next one's a music box. I'm just gonna mute myself and let it play for one time through to figure out what I could do with the music box. I have made slight additions, just so it matches more what I want it to be, and now I have to figure out where the music box is. I forget who made it, because I haven't used it for much else since like the massive time when I used it for almost everything. C is supposed to be like a toy, like a little wind-up toy in concept, but in action it is more of a creature that is mostly self-conscious. And I want it to take from B as most of its melodic inspiration, despite B not being much melodic. But like, the direction of which way that the sound would go. It was the tonics achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was D. Okay, it ends on the tonic. And then starts at the roots. That's relatively important. So I was making sure it sounds good. Okay, so C is gonna be the melody influencer. Oh my, I forgot to add reverb. Actually, how does this sound with that? I'm gonna play them both at the same time with reverb. I forgot that doesn't go there. It does play twice there, though. And I'll play again there. At least melodically, I'm gonna have ambiguous parts. Like here to here. And here to here will probably only have a few actually instrumental parts that aren't just sound effects. Speaking of it, next up is fireworks for D. This is a fun one. As it's the initial for this. Actually, I'm gonna put in parentheses tape and storm. Fireworks. Okay, how can I use fireworks? gonna have it play at halftime. Then I'm just gonna have this play here. This is a helper to percussion, as there's not much percussional parts. And also has a little bit of call and response. This one will be 3. I am not revealing the names of the creatures if that's not clear. In the ending, I'm just gonna have the light percussional part. And I'm just gonna put the loop around there. And play it around with how I can use a full choir. I know exactly where I'm going to use the NST choir full. That is the full thing of this one, which is this one. Oh boy. I will not be changing its sound. will. Okay, I want it to use A. For ah. Okay, I do want this to take from B. And be more of a melodic sense of the nature, while following G minor. Again, increase to this one and again, a chorus does not need to be quote-unquote fair or heard. It just has to reach the song is becoming more of what I wanted it to be now. I feel like the next one is a stylophone. I hope this doesn't crash it. This part's very boring. Ah, there it is. I don't know if this will work anymore. Okay, it does. So I need stylophone. And it's into the melody, but it's stuck in the left ear. Again, using reverb, I could probably coax it to the other side. Ooh. Make it take from this and doesn't play in the thing. It doesn't play in the chorus, so I won't make it. Because I can't have every sound in the chorus at some point. Should be noted that all the melody parts are now in, and that this is probably the last one that actually is a melody for a while. And now will be a moment before it's melody. Oh, this one's a fun one. I am gonna go over time to do the stream, but that's fine. I'm just gonna keep going. So this one's cartoon voice. It's cartoon voice. I'm gonna mute from here on out because it's just more of the same.
Yeah.
And this is all the time I have for today. I have gone over my time and I'm working on the triples now. You will not be able to see the end till later. Bye bye.